Dun, 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 dun. All right, I'm back. I don't know if Fenris Rebels will check on me again, but I said I'd be back after 10, and I am. Now, I did hop off to the store, and I didn't have any drinks left. I have no ice cubes left. I have a lot of grocery shopping to do. But for now, I got myself a big bowl of water and some chocolate milk. I'm going to get into the chocolate milk first. I did take a little tiny swig of those. You know those tiny little energy drinks? They were actually invented by a priest to keep people from using alcohol to pep themselves up. And I just took one right now. I tasted like berries. And now I'm going to just take a swig. So I'm drinking to your health and mine. Cow milk with chocolate. I'm going to send those there. See, okay. Let's go, and maybe Fabros will come back in. We're trying different strategies here. We know what the objectives are. I've won Copernicus by now. Ooh, here we go. One of our bells. Okay, I have to just keep those. I just have to keep those going. So, greeting cards. She needs lots of them. Okay, what? Oh, wait. But our goal is dedication. How far is dedication? It's at 27. It needs to be 30. 27. Oh, in 2 minutes it'll be 28. So that's not so bad. We don't have anything that will go for 2 in this group of things. So we're just going to let those things go for now. We need greeting cards. Let's do this one at a time. We have 6 million. Oh, we need 300 greeting cards. What am I doing being so safe? Bing. Maybe I should cosplay one of these girls. I don't know which cosplay I can take that to. Oh, no, we can't get any further. Pay. We're going to do this a tiny bit at a time. Greeting cards. Ooh, we can't even do that anymore. So we've already used up all our money. I feel like I can't do it, Fanrose. I can't wait. The store. I need 30. Okay, let's try this again. We've got her. Oh, her eyes turned into little hearts. This one is got lots of stuff. This one is on its way. Baby Belle. Oh, she's ready. I'm glad I checked. Okay. Okay, we've got 4. She has lots of hearts. I love her frenemy. Heart color is aqua blue. Loving that. She needs fancy dinners. 150 of them. Are they less expensive than the other thing? I don't think so. Well, they are. Okay, so how many can we give her? 25. Fancy dinner. That's a lot of dinners. That's a lot of food for a girl with a tiny waist like that. She's so lucky. Great genes, right? Okay, dinners. Fancy dinners. Fancy dinner time. I feel like I'm feeding a cat. Oh. Shut up. Keep in mind how they got it. Okay. So while we're waiting for dedication to go up, at the very least, what we're going to do is try our very best to level anything we can. No, only one at a time. And when it gets to being one at a time, that's when it's no bueno. That's a lot. So basically all I can do is tap the girls. Haha. Green cards. Costs even more money. We don't even have enough money to get a green card anymore. Okay, let's see. This one. Heart balloon. Can we do that? Oh, no, we can't. Oh, wow. Picture frames. Can get her 1. She needs 6 more. The beach. Alright, let's find out how much the beach is going to cost us now. 2. Oh, not so bad. So for now, okay, so I'll have 6. We'll do this one. Diamond Mine is back up. And we're going to take her to the beach. Yeah, I do like the beach scenery. It's always very nice, and every girl has her own pose. And the little sussy crab back there is always doing something different depending on the girl. Look, there's a lollipop in the sand. That's so nice. I'll imagine that's a cake pop. I think she needs to go to the beach more than once. Let's find out. Yep. 5 more times. This is not too bad to wait. Maybe I should make a... You know what? I'm going to make a thumbnail of this next time it goes. Hang on. I'm going to adjust myself here. Okay, so... Oh, and my little... I love that my little soul is with me. I really have needed to keep it near me this week. It feel better. Makes me feel better. So I'm going to do a thumbnail here just because these colors are really pretty. I could do it like this. Da-na-na-na-na. I've got my amulet on. Maybe I should even change my necklace the next time I come in to the game. We're going to go again. I'm going to put myself back down over here. I'm out of the way now. Yeah. I'll go over here. It's not too in the way. I feel better actually having some chocolate milk. Although I read about milk and swill milk. I'm not sure that we should be drinking it at all, guys. But anyways, hopefully it is helping my bones. We are going again. Oh, instead of coconuts in the tree, it's balloons. See how they changed that? That's interesting. That's another thing they've done with their scenery to make it a little different. And it looks like at the top of a pineapple inside the bowl. It's kind of cute. I just like all the little details. See, I just love the color therapy in all these beautiful sceneries. Whoever the artist is, wish I could meet you. If the artist sees me doing this, please say hello. Whatever got you into it? I wish that I even had a thought of something like this as a career when I was a little kid, because it might have changed everything I paid attention to in school, or what I would have done with myself. I wish I had the time and the money. If I won millions, I would get into this, like go back to school specifically for this kind of thing. So I think I could do it. I used to draw this all the time. Now, put away my pencil for a while, and I feel like I can't do it right anymore. It changes when you put your pencil down. It really does. I want a heart balloon. Do we have enough time? Oh, wait. First, I've got 4. Let's run this. Just have some more money going in without any extras. Okay, the 2 biggest payouts are happening now. That's all right. That's all right. We need that money. I don't even know. So these are 28, 29. I wonder... Spontaneity has to be a 38. That's the next thing I'm going to need. So let's find out if we still need eye contact. Let me see. Not there. Not there. Not there. Where did I think I needed it? Is it down here? No, we don't need eye contact anymore. All right, let's get off of that. Spontaneity. To bring the next girl out has to be a 38, and it is 34. In a half an hour, it'll be 35. So we won't go to sleep before that pops. We won't meet the next girl until tomorrow, I think, on day 2 of the 3-day journey. Let's take a look at our goals. Ooh, we're on box number 10. We need dedication to be 30. Hang on, did I move it? I could buff it to happen faster, but I know so badly how I'm going to need 30 to do. I'm going to try the ×2 speed boost. I'm going to trust Fanros Fabros with this because they've already won Cassie from the Halloween event. So they've been in this longer than I thought. They are not a newbie. They got some smart things to just say here. So we're doing this together tonight. See if we can both win it together, because I would really love that. I would really love that. That someone got interested in a game I was playing for fun, and they're better at it than me. Yay. I want to be able to buy the heart balloon. I just think that's nice. 600,000. Yeah, we can't do that. But we can get one picture frame at a time. Let's do that. Even though I know I still check. And basically, all I can do is tap them, tap them, tap them. This is what I used to do. This time last year, this is what I was doing. Tapping the girls. And we'd hear that sound, and hopefully you'll find that to be. Well, I wonder if I should open the door and let you hear the sounds of the night as my background white noise to these girls who are all messed up with Valentine chocolates melted all over themselves. Because it is still kind of like misty rain. I think they call that women's rain, where you're not hearing a storm, but it's just wet out there. On the night we're flirting with the girls. Yay. Can we get them another picture frame? Yes. And we'll still be able to get them one more. Maybe two by the time this is done. So we're doing this one step at a time. We're going to focus on one girl at a time because every one of them that we can turn over is another envelope. And we need to get 10 envelopes by the time we win the 20, which is, I think, 2 to 3 goals away from now, to try that ×2 boost. So I won't have time to get the ×64, but I will try the ×2 boost. It is the one strategy I haven't done yet. I did at least pick up on the time skips. The blocks I learned, where the original thing I tried to do this time last year was not going to work out because one at a time for all those little points wasn't going to do it to even get one job or hobby up. So we can get one more. Okay, and now we have to hope by the time this gift thing renews that we have enough money. It is, at least I can see the money is going up, but just not enough in one time. Ooh, we're awkward besties now for the second girl, Bonnie Bell. And that heart is a lovely Revlon red, if you can see that. And as we do this, every time you buy something, you get a little bit of boost for the crystal heart. The requirements for crystal hearts are now getting to the point where it is taking time to level them up, and if I don't want to lose my money on it, it's a lot of tapping. A lot of tippy tapping. We're doing it. We're not, are we halfway through? Not yet. Okay, I think I forgot to talk to you guys. I went lost in thought there for a second. With all this tapping, it's like lulling me to sleep. Okay, we need one heart balloon here. We really want to move this girl along. We only have half as much as we need for it. We'll just give you a break to look at something new since we're watching here. Okay, there's this girl that still needs many greeting cards. Kabukaiju. Okay, so let me show you. We are at box number 10. And usually we know from doing these events before that it's usually when you get to the second or third row on the second day of the game where you barely move at all. But there's a new strategy at play. So when I first used to do this game, I used to try to get time blocks until I realized one block would not get you enough. You need a minimum of 3 to do anything in jobs or hobbies, a minimum of 3. So they were a waste. And I started doing time skips, which is what I also did today. Then Fenros Fabros has actually won Cassie, the mummy, from the Halloween event, the last time there was an event. So they've talked me into trying to wait until I have 30. And we know if I could get to 10, by the time our goals, when we get past dedication, which is soon, it'll happen tonight, we need her to be a nuisance, then we're going to win 20 letters. Then I'm going to do the ×2 speed boost. I don't know if you can see my, where my face, I'm on it right now. I'm on the speed boost, but the ×2 speed boost, where my head is at, to see if that does better for me, because I've been trying to do it by hours, and they're trying to speed up the progress bars, which I think I've done in the past, but it's been a while. But we've got this strategy. We're both trying it our own ways, but similar, and we're both neck and neck with each other, trying to win over, let me show it to you, Desdemona here, into the regular world. She's a demon. And also I have to say, you know how her bangs up there make that little floaty heart? Podgkin's out there on Twitch, who I've met at YetiCon for 2 years in a row now, has that same little swirly thing. Anyways, and here's Baby Belle. So I'm trying to burn down one girl at a time to get them up, because every time we level them once, we get another envelope. So if I can get 10 envelopes by the time I hit, and dedication is now at 28, it'll be at 25 minutes before it's 29. So let's say it'll be 2 hours, 3 at the most, I hope. By the time we wake up tomorrow morning, something I wanted will happen. Now I don't even remember what I was going for there. But yeah. So Copper Kaiju, did you have a chance to see the hire one, hammer one, hide from one, and tell me what you thought? Because you'll recognize one of the logos I used to represent you back in one of it. I'm going to refresh my chat. Oh, okay. I'm getting some weird comments about my chat died or something. But I see your question mark. I'm refreshing chat again. Oh, it says the chat is on again. Hopefully you're still there and can hear me. I hope so. This girl's covered in chocolate. Okay, we need a heart balloon. Oh, we're not ready yet. So we're just going to keep tapping this girl unless you're bored with it. But yeah, if you see in my shorts, this one is a short. The other ones I've always made like a video movie out of it. If you go to shorts, it's a 1 minute long, just under 1 minute long. Hire, hammer, or hide. That's what it's called. A couple days ago. And it's so really cute. And I put you as one of the options on one of the pages. I put you up against someone with another cool image, which I think I also used as you. But in this case, I'm using it as someone else. I don't even remember who it was now. But I just think the page looks cool. So you play the game and tell me, who did you hire, who did you hammer, and who did you hide from? Fenros Fabros, I think she said she hid from everybody because you and the other guy you were up against looked really dangerous. But she felt that Paladin, Stem, and Piscana looked very trustworthy, so I think she hired them. Please check it out and let me know what you think. Because you're still in mine. Anyone who still actively talks to me in the games, I do try. I have to rotate them sometimes to put different people in them, just so that it's my way of giving love to my fans, to put you in my stories. And I just think the door games are fun. Oh, it's almost time to buy the heart balloon. Come on, come on, come on. We're almost there. We're almost there. It's taking a while. Okay, maybe now. Maybe now. Heart balloon, heart balloon, heart balloon. 675. And I'm just going to sit on it because it's almost there. And coming out, I think tomorrow, well, by 3 a.m., there is a song I did. Now, I don't know what you guys' feelings are about using creative AI to make songs and stuff, but I did make the original lyrics and then got it to sing me a song for it. And of course, I used AI generated art, but then did my clip art thingy on top and around it. And again, if my fans don't like it, you tell me and I switch up. But because I was not trained in computers, everything I do is self-taught, and so I know it looks clip arty because that's what I'm doing. But if you don't mind it, then maybe you'll like this little video. Song for the lore. I put in Blade of Immortal Souls because I'm gearing myself up to finally finish those stories. If I can ever find the script for getting Msoul out of the tent, I mean, it was a good one. I just, at the time I hadn't produced it because it takes so much time to do all the sound effects. I wanted to do it right. But, yeah, we'll see. Here we go. We did it. Moving on, moving on. We've got 5. We need 10. And this is not popped yet. Let's see what spontaneity's doing. So that's 34. 18 minutes left. 19 minutes left for it to be 35. And it needs to be 40, I think. Nope, it needs to be 38. Ooh, has a way to go. Hello! Okay. Were you refreshing like crazy? Something went wrong with my chat window, but... Oh, and we're getting Copper Kaiju to check out the little mini game. The HH game. And we'll see what they think of their picture, too. I want to know who they hire and Hammer and all that. Okay, so... Just to show you, Fanros, here's where I'm at. I'm still at box number 10, waiting for dedication to hit. But dedication is at 28. 20 minutes before it's 29. What does dedication have to be? 30? So I'm thinking in an hour or two, I'll get the next goal. And then I've got 5. I've got 5 envelopes. I'm trying to hold on for you. So I need 2 goals from now. So not the first goal we get. So 3 goals from now. Time blocks will help. Then I get to enact your plan and see if it helps me with the ×2 thingy. Okay, so now I'm trying to go up and do this one girl at a time. She just, hang on. Which one is the girl we need to go next? Mary Bell. We don't have Mary Bell yet, so it doesn't even matter. So I can deal with any girl I want. I'm thinking this 38 spontaneity is going to bring us Mary Bell. Oh, you're box 11. Well, I did go to the store after my phone call, and I bought me some chocolate milk, and then I have also my water. I got Pure Life. It's actually quite cool enough that the bottle is perspiring. I'll drink some of that. I'll drink to Your Health of Mine, everybody. Woo! Oh, that's from the... I like the sound of the bottle. Woo! Okay, you're on 11. Well, I did bet that you would win and I will not. But I'm going to try because you're out there doing this with me. This motivates me to keep going here. Let's keep going. You hired me? Yay! You hid from all the scary looking dudes? You didn't hammer anybody. You're such a gentleman or lady. You didn't hammer anybody. It's hard because they're all our subscriber friends to hammer anybody. I guess there's 2 ways to think of hammer, but I'm thinking of it in, pounding them down. But hey, other people pound in other ways. Never mind what I said. I'm tired. It's a long night. All right, let's see. This one's almost there. So let's work on our little peanut cupid here. Wait, I don't remember what she wanted. Greeting cards. Greeting cards. Oh, we don't have enough to give her any. So that's why I wasn't working on her. Okay, then we go down to this one. You know what? I didn't even play the game myself. I just feel like I hammer myself against a brick wall when I'm talking to people. Who would I hide from? Knowing who I actually know, who are my subscribers, I would hide from Tishy Adams. I would suggest that. Let me see. I would hide from Bunny because if I hurt Bunny in any way, Tishy Adams would murder me. But I would understand that. I know I didn't give anybody time to think, but I thought I really like the pictures I chose to depict you guys until the day you give me avatar pictures of your choosing. I will use the ones I imagine you as in my head. And for you, it's like a fiery, beautiful copper glow on your hair. From fire, being a pyromancer. I don't know why, because copper caught you. I don't know. It just sounds like you should be brown angel wings. I only noticed that just now. Dude, can't even feed her 10 meals. You get a 5-course meal, girl. That's all you get. So we're going to work on saying sorry to her for a while. I do like the frenemy heart. It's a beautiful aqua color. And I think I said that today already. Okay. You hired Tishy. She seems cool, but I don't think I ever met her. Tishy Adams. There is a very good possibility at some point you may run into her if you ever watch my cooking shows, because when she can, she does come out to those. And she and I have collabed a couple of times. If you guys have ever seen, it's the odd time. She was here in May, actually, and she did a live mixology thing because she's actually a bartender. She actually is a legit bartender, and she made up drinks, but we talked about not giving away her signature drink. She and I both made a signature drink. Mine is fun, though. Maybe I should do mine one day. Maybe I'll talk her into it. But we chose a different other drink, which was for her wedding day, because Tishy Adams and Bunny are actually married. They are a couple who game together. We were all gamers. I was a gamer. And had I listened to my friends at the time, I used to be a GM of like multiple guilds on both sides. I was a double agent, and I had the max to 1,000. I had a raid team. I had a PvP 10-man team. We really had a lot of fun, but I really did live online in those years. But now I have to keep a roof over my head, so we don't have that same amount of times when we were teenagers. I hate to say so, but those were the days. Really, those were the days. So there is a chance that she'll talk to you because she knows when I'm doing like World of Warcraft and I'm doing a raid or a dungeon or I'm doing PvP, I forget to look at you guys. I forget to look over. And now that she's been here to see my setup, she said, and I quote, "Oh, now I understand why you don't see us." But she'll take over talking to everybody and you guys could be having a conversation. Like she used to talk to Hero Flame and Iron Fist and Pescana and a few others who came with me from the WoW world. Had I done this 10 years ago when we were kids and they were telling me you should do this, I should have listened. But I really didn't understand this world, and maybe I still don't. That's why I don't fit in with everybody here. But I should have, because I could have been monetized right away. So everybody would have come with me. And now we're all split up into different things around the world, doing adulty things, and life is changing. And so I did this more because I knew a lot of us couldn't be in the game as much as we used to, or not staying in the game all the time. We take breaks and then pay for a subscription after a couple of months, and come back and forth. And we trade off who's in charge of the guild sometimes now too. I'm lucky to have good right-hand people, and I'm lucky that not all my guilds died, but we were smaller guilds always, and when they changed things, and it wasn't Cataclysm, maybe it was with Pandaria, the one right after that, I can't even remember which one it is now. They really nerfed us when they took away Have Guild Will Travel as a perk when you hit level 25 as guild. They killed our guild. And then I became just a leveling guild, and then I ended up taking over the Everstill guild on the Alliance side, where Pescana is my main man. And Noriyama was also a main man, but Noriyama's moved on to a raiding guild that's still active. But my very first voice you hear me talking to in the games was Noriyama. But anyways, saying all of that, Tishy Adams, Bunny, Sunny and Moon, and Dark Alice have all either met up with me at Cosplay Comic-Cons, YetiCon, Toronto Comic-Con, Alberta Comic-Con, like Calgary Comic-Con, They met me in these places and or have been here at my house since I moved here and set up this better system, which is a gift from Magnus and Pumpkin. They built this set for me because I had 3 factory resets and then my computer finally died. And that's why I ended up doing memes for a bit, and that's how I started getting into memes for shorts, because I didn't know how else to stay. And that's when I invented also Kitty V, the little white cat with the blue wig and blinged out collar, like I always had blinged out collars, because I wanted a way to keep in touch with you guys until I had a community. There's no way I could have paid for the system, and this is homemade for me. They just came over, Magnus and Pumpkin, and just started plucking things out and putting new things in and built me something really great. And they made the inside of my computer the same color as my hair, which I thought was a really kind and loving gesture. Like, really cool that guys would have thought of that, matching my computer to my hair. So, like, an homage to me in my own home. So I glow the same colors. I love blue. I love like the aqua, like the bright light blues. I love it. And I know you guys are talking to me, so what do you say? Okay, I'm looking. You should put some time into. What is it? Candy maker? Oh, you're giving me a heads up. Thank you. You're so great to do this with. This is like a team effort. Yeah. The connection through this is so that, and not all of my gaming friends did follow me here, but I have to say this, like, there are a lot of my friends from the gaming world, like Cordrogue and stuff. They are watching me, but if you ever look at my stats, more people continually, routinely watch me or after I've done the live shows than there are people who subscribe to me. So if they weren't shy or social anxiety or like wanted their privacy, you know, I totally respect and understand why. I totally respect that. But, and I thank them all for being part of this with me. But if they were also part of YouTube, following me officially that way, and not just like behind the scenes, I'd be monetized. So, but it is interesting that I never realized until recent months, like, to understand more of reading all the stats, like, as I'm learning this, as I'm doing this, to understand more how to work all that. Candy maker. Oh, it hasn't been running. Okay. Oh, diamond maker is still at level 1. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm turning off winemaker. I'm turning on candy maker because I'm listening to Fanrose. Fanrose has won. I bow to you, Fanrose, because I know you got Cassie. Boy, is she hard to please. So here we go, Copper's. But this was a way, because you know, as teenagers, you get to know some people online, like maybe in a way we shouldn't have. But this is a different world than it was for our parents, and we really just, like, I lived in all these isolated places that if I was lucky to have internet, then that was my only way to have friends. Really. You couldn't wander around. And some of the people I made friends, like, we live in different parts of Canada and the United States, whether it's isolated communities like me, or they were in, like, gang areas in urban centers. Like, it wasn't safe to just walk around in public. I could have been eaten by a bear. They could have been shot. Like, it's different worlds, but, like, for reasons, we all really got to know each other, and we were each other's confessors online, and maybe sometimes it's easier to talk to someone that's not right there in your face. Who's here? It's midnight for you? All right, you're in the East Coast. It is 11:16 for me. You're the first time someone's time is ahead of mine in a while, because I've moved around the country, right? So when I'm out in Central Time Zone or Mountain Time Zone, it was different for me. And now I'm back in Eastern Time Zone. Yeah. So let me know when you're going to sleep, and I'll go to sleep too. But yeah, I'm not rolling over very quickly now with anything. Greeting cards. She needs greeting cards. But yeah, I hope I'm filling enough information as we chit-chat, because I go silent, and I don't know that I've gone silent, and then I look over and realize, oh yeah, there's humans here. Oh, we're all in a row. So Atlantic, Eastern, and Pacific time? Atlantic, Eastern, and Mountain time. Something like that. But it's so cute we're all in a row. It's like we're passing the torch across the continent. I love it. Greeting cards. I think they're 6,000 each now. Am I right? No. Oh, no, wait. We can do more. I just have to buy them one at a time. Well, no, that's just too much. Central Time. Yeah, we're all in a row. It's kind of cute. Okay, fancy dinners for this one. Can we buy her more than one? We can buy her 5. You eat a lot, girl. Once dedication hits, though, which is an hour or 2 from now, then that will open up the other Bell girl, Mary Bell. Let me see. Let's go look at her. Spontaneity needs to be 38, and it is 34. 4 minutes to being 35. But who knows how many hours to be 36? That's what I don't know yet. Okay, I have to not look at those envelopes. I have to not acknowledge that they're there. I don't know which one of these would be the fastest to pull up. She needs too much work. This one needs 263 greeting cards. This one needs 103 fancy dinners. Okay, we're gonna work on her. She needs the lesser of the things, and they cost less than the other things. Although we don't have enough money to do a lot. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Screw dedication. I need more money. 4. Well, it's better than nothing. Is candy maker going? Oh, I'm doing candle maker. You said candy maker? Wait a second. Is there a candy maker? Or do you mean the chocolate guy? Okay, hang on here. I need one more. Hang on. I'm gonna nerf something here so I can get the candy going. Chocolatier is going. I have 5. And I have to, this makes more money, so I have 2 left over. I have to do it. I need to have more money. Faster. Okay. Oh, well, the crystal hearts are kind of going up on their own. Okay, let me see what you guys said. Well, I don't want you to hurt yourself. I do want you to be well rested. But I will say that it's been fun talking strategy, knowing you're doing this at the same time as me. It's too bad you can't, like put a bifocus in and play together somehow, like so you can see your friend. Or visit your friend while you're meeting girls and guys. I don't know. I just took another swig of chocolate. I'm going to drink a whole liter of chocolate milk before this night is over. I hope that's okay. Okay. Well, my plans for the week. So this was supposed to be a peekaboo event, and I certainly have played peekaboo today 3 times with this game because I can't look away. It's so exciting for me right now. I don't know why. I like the special events. The day to day is boring, but now that you've shown me about the reset and how fast things move, it's much less boring, which is great. But tomorrow night is just going to be a little bit more of a peekaboo. I'm dedicating it to this event. I do want to check in on a couple of my other games if we're getting bored of this. I haven't visited Hogwarts Mystery in a while, so all my pets are probably starving and unhappy. And the plant did die. I just can't share all the resources for the pets with the plants, so I'm not into the greenhouse side of it at all. But for people that needed something different to do in that game and love that game, that was a great side venture. Okay, fancy dinners. There are some things I don't know what will happen on the weekend, but I have physio. And I have to wait a couple weeks for my eye glass appointment, but I did find today, you know how you could just buy the glasses that are magnifiers times 1 or times 1.5 or times 2. I needed a 1.5 because I really do have to read, and even with my glasses it's too blurry. But my benefits are like once every 2 years you can get your eyes checked, and since I'm the first in my family to ever have benefits, the benefits are this is the first year of my life having benefits. I have to say, if you have any kind of benefits, find out what they are and use everything you can, because it's like I can't do preemptive healthcare, I have to do corrective healthcare, and you don't want it to get to that. And I know if you guys are in the States, like Copper, if you're in the States, I know you guys medical, you choose between cutting off pieces of your body, or if you don't have the money to save them. Up here in the north, it's a little bit, some things you pay for, some things you don't have to. I think I do think we have a better deal maybe, but I'm very grateful for the healthcare we have, but there's still a lot of things they've hacked off of it that are not advantageous to females. There are things that I've had to pay out of pocket for, or like I would have lost my eyesight, for example. There's certain things they can do, but if you want to be able to be allowed to drive on the road in the dark, in Canada, and Rose, you may know this, the sun's not up when you go to work in the morning for a good part of the year in winter, and it's gone down by the time you have to drive home from work or school. So you're in the dark. So if you're not allowed legally to drive in the dark, so I had to pay to save my eyesight there and be able to stay on the road. That was a few years ago. That was before I started VTubing. But I've noticed that in this last year, since I've been in front of these computers as much as I have, I definitely needed, my eyes have strained too much. And I do need reading glasses now. But I don't need them for long sight. I don't need them for driving. But that's probably because I paid to put a lens in my eye. It's a permanent thing. They lift up like the top skin of your eye and flip it back, and they put a lens in and stick it back down. But they can never reverse the process. Like if they were to take it out, they can't put another one in, and then you'll see that it'll just ruin your eyesight. Because you want it to be okay. You want it to go well the first shot. So yeah, saying that. But you want to hear fun things. Like, I don't have anyone to go dancing with, and I miss dancing more than anything else, but I do not like sitting in a bar, and I cannot go to a bar alone, and my friends don't live here. We live hours apart across different cities, and so I'm waiting for the summer when I can go visiting people. In the winter, I just don't visit people because I'm so afraid of being in a car wreck on the highways. The main highway for me that connects me to the closest main cities, there are accidents every day. And there are big trucks out there, and they're doing construction all the time, so it's like, I don't want to. I'll only do it to visit my parents, and maybe once a year visit my best of friends. I'm lucky they like being on the road because they've come to see me. But yeah, we do collabs when they come over here, and I hope to do that more in the summertime too, at least once a month, get them here, because especially like if you meet Tishy Adams, if you meet Tishy Adams has gone to YetiCon with me a couple of times. This year, she's in the States. One of her best friends has a horse farm for wellness. If you guys have ever heard of these, the ranches down south in the United States where you can go to a farm or stay on a ranch and you help take care of the horses and stuff, and it just makes you feel happy. And she's down there taking care of horses right now. But when we get her up here, she does bartending for me on the show. There's a couple of, like my Riddle Me Din Din recipe blitzes, where sometimes I show you my real baking journeys. There's still one I have to download from so much on my little pink camera. So if you guys ever see me, my avatar here holding a pink camera, that's because I have a pink camera. I went baby pink this year. You have to understand, I looked like Elvira all through high school. Yes, I did. That was my fashion icon, and I looked like Elvira. And except yeah. And Tishy Adams, Dark Alice, definitely goth, Wiccan girls, and I went to baby pink since last summer. Tiny. I have a black and white room, and with a pink camera, and now one piece of pink luggage that I got from New York last time I went to New York, where I met some of my other gamer friends. It was a reunion. We were gonna do it in Florida, but then COVID happened, and so then we did it in New York, which changed who could be there. But still, some of my favorites. And Tuca, if you've seen, really, I think I should have spelled Tuuka. Be honest, I put it. It doesn't matter. But anyways, I made a birthday song for him. And guys, one of you told me your birthdays, but if your guys' birthdays are coming up and you want me to do a birthday song for you, that's what I did in my first year in VTubing, and I fell off of it this year. I feel bad, but I do try to honor my subscribers in those ways. So if you guys want a birthday song, tell me when your birthday is, and if I remember, and if I forget, I'm so sorry. You can hammer me in or let me know. Yeah, if you have a special day and you want it honored, I'll do it. Yeah. And I have to say, too, if you're in New Brunswick, if you're the one in New Brunswick, I'm sorry that I laugh, but New Brunswick, Nova Scotia really gets hammered the way Buffalo gets hammered with the weather in a way that Toronto does not. Toronto being, you know, the main urban center that I'm closest to. And it shouldn't be funny. But you guys have actually had national emergencies where you've needed, like, floods that turn to ice in the middle of winter. You've needed the army to come and help you. I think Quebec is like that too. Montreal sometimes sent out the army to help them in the winter. Like, we've lost all the major. So we had that full week of blackout and no power this winter for me when I was offline, you guys. And we kept getting blackouts, and I tried to be online, and then blackout again, kept trying to start and just die. But me, having come from the north, had my mummy sleeping bag. I just pitched a tent in my living room to bring a wind blocker in, and I was perfectly toasty. I have my grandmother had sheep when she was a child and knitted, and I have all her knitted stuff. When she passed, I got her stuff, and I don't care about fashion. That wool keeps you warm. It keeps your body heat. Even if you fall in a lake in the middle of winter, your body heat sticks to you, so you're not going to die of exposure the way someone wearing acetate is going to be hurt in the wind. Oh, it's February, but I can do it next year. Are you an Aquarius? Or are you, because an Aquarius would be a perfectionist. Or what's the next one after that? Pisces. You a Pisces? They're very smushy wushy hearts. Well, that's great. So I've been to Moncton, I've been to Dartmouth, and my roommates from Nunavut actually are back in Dartmouth now, and everybody went south together because we were just too cold. But I have family in Moncton, so we had, I don't know if you're old enough or if you were in the right place, but there's a certain like forested area in Moncton that over the years my cousins went from a forest into making a real log cabin that they live in now, and a lot of that has been taken down, like clear cut it over the time, so now you can actually see where you're driving. But you used to have to drive through a forest, and you used to have to, if the sun was going down, you weren't allowed to leave and go through the forest in your vehicle, because there was a moose called Crazy Charlie, and that moose, if it saw a headlight, would ram any vehicle, and moose can destroy your vehicles. So you don't want to deal with that. So we often slept over in this. Before the cabin was even erected, there was a trailer out there. We would just stay there for the night and then head off to Magnetic Hill or wherever in the morning and go see the boats, go see the schooners. And I just remember that from my younger life as a teenager, not wanting to get hit by Crazy Charlie. And the story is they think this moose, when he was a baby, lost his mother to being hit by a train. And that is why whenever he sees a headlight, he charges it, because that took his mother. That's what they say. Now, he wouldn't maybe be alive anymore. I don't know how long a moose can live for. But I haven't heard about him lately. But they've also clear-cut a lot of that land. When it was like virgin forest when my cousins started taking down trees and making an actual log cabin out of it. There's two of them there, one for his dad and one for him. Yeah, but Crazy Charlie, New Brunswick. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. If you ask around the older generations, see if they know about Crazy Charlie. I can't think of where they are in comparison to the casino there, or where the murder mystery places are, but it's like 15, 20 minutes out from the center. Yay, Aquarius, water bearer. The Aquarius, an Aquarius guy I dated, very tall, very good looking, but to be honest, tiny bit of a snob. And I think the only reason he dated me was because when he turned me down, I guess I had an attitude about whatever, and I walked away. So he grabbed my hand and then started talking to me. But he actually and I had a mutual friend who worked with him. We didn't know that at the time, found that out later, which was interesting. And the whole reason why I went up to talk to him is because a friend of mine that I ended transitioning out of being friends with got drunk and was very mad at me and said a racist thing. So I walked over to the person who came from the race that she was disrespecting and tried to dance with him, and he was like too good for it. And then when I rolled my eyes and I guess I made a t or something sound, that's when he grabbed my hand and started talking. And we kind of knew each other off and on for a little bit. And then he tried to introduce me to a couple of his friends that actually had real jobs, which I thought was very nice of him because I wasn't his thing. We knew that, but I think he was being a snob. And then when I wasn't impressed, like, oh, I'm not good enough for you, whatever. And he's like, wait a second. And I think with some people, they want you to like them or they want you to want them, and then they'll blow you off. And then that didn't happen. I don't know. It was a weird thing. But that was the first Aquarius I ever met. But good looking, I'll tell you. No, it was somebody else. And the guy that I walked up to dance, I asked him to dance with me specifically because of the comment that was made would have fit the group that was being made insulted. I just didn't like it. But basically, okay, I'll tell you the tea. Do you like gossip? Because, not naming names, you've never met these people. But okay, so I went to school with someone. And actually, I had more guy friends than girls because I grew up with brothers. And I played guy sports in times where there weren't sports teams for girls in those sports. And so I knew a lot of guys. By the time we got to high school, I knew a lot of guys and I never really hung out with girl groups. They tended not to like me or accept me anyways. And I was like, whatever, because I'm playing sports. I'd rather do that than sit in front of a mirror. Although I could clean up good, but I'd need an hour or two to clean up good for weddings and parties or something, right? But I knew the guy first, and a lot of my guy friends coming out of high school, they were dating girls that didn't understand our relationship because I grew up with them, and they grew up with my brothers and me, and like if you've known each other for a long time, you just have a different connection and inside jokes and all that. And I found that a lot of the guys, that's when I started losing my guy friends and didn't have a lot of female friends. But a lot of female friends I've met since then also had more guy friends or were kind of lone wolves like me. But I always tried to make friends with and talk to the girl first and not the guy so that they weren't questioning what I was to the guy because there's no trust there, right? So I tried. And a lot of them would reject my attempts at friendship. And there was a group that told the guys this group of guys I knew from high school, that I grew up since we were 4 years old in school or through my brothers and sports, and told them to break up with me as a friend or they'd break up with them. So they all broke up with them and came to my house together with donuts to tell me all about it. I'm like, well, we're not ever going to be married and have kids, so I understand if you have to like have distance. And they were the ones to say no. I'm like, well, if you love this person, then do what you have to do. I understand, I forgive you, and I hope I see you here and there and whatever. And maybe I should have been more selfish than that back then, but back then, like, I knew even if I met somebody who would kind of interest each other, as soon as I knew this wasn't going to be the person for me, I hadn't crossed any very personal lines yet because I actually dated for marriage, which was a fail in itself. But I really did try to get to know people and build memories, right? I didn't do what people do these days. It's not for me. And that's to my detriment. On one side, I'm by myself. But on the other side, like, I would introduce them to the people that I knew I thought that would get along, same backgrounds, same interests, same, like, my female friends that like to talk all the time on the phone or be on the phone with you while you watch a movie just to hear each other scream at the same spots, like, that wasn't for me. So I'd introduce them to each other, and I was not at all upset that they would kind of not spend as much time with me, because that's not the thing I wanted to do with my time. The fact that I'm in front of video games, I didn't think this would be me, but it is me now. But back then, no. And a lot, but so with getting back to this particular girl, yeah. So anyways, there was this one girl, and she became my friend, and we were all going into the same school. But I knew the guy first, and she did get very close. They were close. They ended up getting married together and having kids together, right? But I shifted from talking to him to talking to her, and calling first to her and say, and if she said, well, why don't you talk to him about it? Or he wants to talk to you about it. But it was always through her. And I thought we became successful friends, right? One of the few who would at the time. And we just ended up taking some classes together even too. So I kind of knew them since before they were married. But she did marry him, and I was there at the wedding. I was there, I worked 2 jobs back then and went to school. So it was really hard for me to be awake. And I used to go to people's houses before their parties started just to say hi while they were setting up, help them cook something, help them and I would literally fall asleep on the couch, and then they'd wake me up while everyone's sitting around me having a party. But I was there, and they would wake me up, and I'd go to work because I had a night job. My job finished at 7 in the morning, and then I have to be at school at 8. So if anyone forgot to show up for their shift, I was stuck and would be late for school, and was threatened by the guy in charge of the program that I'd be kicked out and he'd give me these extra projects to do to teach me a lesson. Anyways, and all of this was going on, and my shifted being her friend and not his. They did marry, and she and I even went together to apply for jobs together in the same field. I remember our first year together, we even interviewed together to one job, but in between having the kids, before they had their first kid, she started changing, and I used to babysit for them too, a little bit, so they could have their date nights still in the first year. But she started talking about this guy she was doing this night course or whatever to stay busy when she wasn't at work. And she started talking about this guy. And I've had it a few times where you think a female friend is being your friend and setting you up with a guy so that you can have someone to date and maybe have your own relationship with someone too, and get married and have kids and all that. But in fact, 3 times in my life around these years, before you guys met me, they set me up not because they were interested for me to meet someone too that they thought was nice or a match. The truth is they were interested in the guy, and it was a test. If he went for me, then he wouldn't go for her, kind of thing. Or if he'd go for me, that's not the kind of girl for her, whatever. But anyways, I'm not friends with these people anymore once I found out. But when she was having her bachelorette party, it was around the time, okay, so she hadn't married him yet, but she was engaged, and I'm trying to think back now. This is coming right out of school. We were still in school, and they were engaged, and she was getting really drunk. And she was getting mad that I was saying no to being set up with this particular guy that she met from this thing. And he was there, and I met him, and I saw him, but I didn't feel anything about him. And I didn't think he seemed interested in me at all. And so when I declined her setting me up with him and didn't want to go out on a date with him, keep in mind, the husband's not there. The husband who I knew first, who was my friend for years before he got involved with her, wasn't there. But this man was there, along with all the bridesmaids and me and a couple other people, right? Mainly girls. That he was there, though. And they were mostly just talking to each other. I wasn't interested, and I didn't feel a spark. So she made some comment, which was racist about... And it was really mean. She looked at, she's tall, most people are taller than me, looking down, craned in at me with her eyeballs slitted, and made some mean comment. I can't even remember exactly what it was, but I had some comment about, my preference, or I might as well whatever with whoever from this other race. And I was so upset and hurt by this. And so I put down my drink, and I walked straight over to the first guy who looked the most like someone from that race. And I asked him to dance, and he was rude to me, but he was the Aquarian. He was very good looking, and actually had a good job. and a house and like all the right things, but I wasn't his thing. And when he was like snub me, I turned my back on him right away with a snub, not looking defeated, not looking scared. And it was because of my attitude that he changed his mind and then wanted to be the nice guy in my eyes instead of an a-hole in my eyes. And we danced and we talked. We didn't really dance too much, but more talked. And I ended up with his number, and for a couple of years, on and off, like we hung out. We didn't, weren't involved, but we hung out, and he did try to introduce me to a couple of his friends. Like, he actually did try to introduce me to guys that would be, on paper, a good catch. It was just different. Like, he knew them from business or something, but at least he tried to, but whatever. The truth of the matter is, and here's the tea in all of this, if you guys are interested in this little scoop, because I actually have a story to tell that I haven't told you yet. Yeah. You got Mary Belle? Come on, spontaneity. I'm at a 35 for 2.5 hours to be 36. It has to be 38. I'm so far behind you. But I'm still persevering. I don't know how you're using your... Yeah, I give you yay. Good for you. Okay, so before you sleep, let me finish the story. So the truth of the matter is about all this and why she was so mad that I didn't want to be set up with this guy. Ended up meeting a couple new guys because of who I walked up to, because of her hateful comment. The truth is, one night, a couple months later, and so a few months later, she's married at this point. I get a phone call from her husband, who was my friend before I met her in school, asking me to talk to her. I'm like, what are you talking about? Well, she's with you right now. No. Well, she said she was setting you up with this guy. I said, no, way back before you got married. She told me off that night at the whatever because I didn't want to meet him. He's like, oh. And then he hangs up for me, and I get a call from her like 2 minutes later. If he calls you, say you're with me. Well, it's too late for that. What's going on? She was interested in this guy. She wanted me to agree to be set up with him so she could spend time with this guy and use me as the alibi. So in other words, you're faking that you care about me ever meeting somebody and using that. And she wasn't the first person in my life to do it. There were 2 other girls who pulled that. But now after this episode, I could catch that faster. I said, are you trying to get me to help you cheat on him? Because I knew him first. You're both my friend. And also you're hurting me because I thought like you cared about me or my future or my heart, and you don't. And then, yeah, anyways, that's the whole thing that led to me meeting the Aquarian, who did try to legitimately help me meet a guy that was good on paper, and had a job in a house, which is hard to find now. So that was that story. And that kind of near the end of that relationship, but they ended up staying together. They're still married, and they went on to have 2 kids. Yeah. Well, she was married when she was hanging out with this guy, saying she was being a matchmaker for me and this guy. When before their wedding date, I actually had already said no to it, and she insulted me because of it. But she insulted me on racial grounds, and she insulted me not actually because of me not wanting to date him, but because it interfered with her being able to use me as an alibi when she was actually seeing him behind his back. And that hurt me more. Because what if I had really liked him and wanted to meet him, and they're screwing around behind both of our backs? And also, if you're going to use someone as an alibi, can you warn them first? But I wouldn't have wanted to be used to help someone cheat on someone who's been my friend for even longer. That's a bad position to be put in. But yeah, that happened. And that happened to me 3 times in this world around that time, around those years. I never once had someone to set me up with someone I had anything in common with, that we'd be on the same page. They were tests of a guy they wanted themselves or went on to be with or were with. And had I known, everyone who knows me knows I don't date in the same pool. I'm not a lazy pickup artist, right? I'm not lazy. I do not want to be with someone who's been with someone I know. I do not go fishing twice in the same pool. And if you've already been with that person, I don't want to be with that person. They just know too much about you. You know too much about them, including scent and flavor. So I don't want. And they hid those things. It was very deceptive. I found that to be the not nicey part of the dating world, is when your female friends they're not kosher. To use a word. So yeah, that's my deep dish for the evening. Yeah, I think she said a couple times to me that she married the person she knew would never cheat on her, who would never divorce her, but the person before that one who always cheated on her and broke her heart all the time was the fun one in bed. And I've met more than one girl to say things like that to me, give or take certain words. I've heard that a couple of times. And yeah, that kind of sucks. So, and for me too, like I've turned down proposals because I didn't think they came from the right place. Like, they want your passport, they want, you to pay for life. I just can't afford to feed a man. No. I almost feel like being set up is just such a trap, except that it worked for some of my friends whose parents came from other countries, and then they bring you back to meet people from the hometown, as long as they're not your cousin, or for the name from their like family friends with family friends. But I don't mean like arranged marriage. I mean like, well, hey, why don't you meet these people from this family that we know or from the back hometown? And a lot of my friends, girls, have gone overseas and then come back engaged. Different cultures. Or my friends they went back for summer holidays, let's say to Jamaica, and in the same town as this other person who's also educated in North America. And so you've got those sensibilities that are different from your parents' generation, but all the parents know each other. And then you come back to this country and now you hit it off. You have this like things in common. Well, Maribel unlocks thoughtfulness. Oh. Yeah. I think for me, I have to wait until the morning, because by the time I wake up, first thing in the morning, I may not show it online. I'll just like go in, because I need dedication to pop. Oh, are you already on box 12? It sounds like you might be on box 12 or 13 by now. But I need box 13 to open, and then I'm going to do that boost. I'm aiming for the times 2 30 envelope boost. I've already got 5 envelopes plus the 20, and if I can move these girls, which needs more money than I have right now, but as soon as I can move these girls, I say I can have 10 ready by the time I hit the 20 envelope. Dr. Frederick! Okay, Dr. Frederick, we need you to know, you've been featured in part of a door game that I made that's just a minute-long door game, so it's in the shorts instead of the video side, which I usually do. It's very short, very fast, all instinctual, but you are featured in it. And also I need you to know that I am going to produce your story in July instead of June because of things going on in my real world right now and all the meetings. My head is in a different space, but I will be doing it. I want to do it properly. And I'm looking at different AI stuff, trying to figure out how to make it into a video if I can, and if not, I'm going to do the old-fashioned slideshow. But I do want to give you respect. And I don't know if you heard, but Cord Rogue gave me an actual fan with a bird in it, because I was talking about how your character was Finch, because I have been talking about your story and your writing skills. I'm working on right now taking pictures to turn it into a GIF or a sticker that moves, to show that I open this fan, because it's fan fiction. And then we see the sparrow, and then I woo 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 switch to whatever story visual I'm going to do for the narration of your story. And then at the end of your story, we go woo 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 woo, come back to the fan, focused on the bird, and I close the fan. Turning it, I have to take a whole bunch of pictures of it. It's a real fan. It's a real fan from China. And Cordell gave me 3 fans to try this with, but I like the one with the bird because Finch is your character. Now, it may not be a Finch, but listen, it's a bird, close as I could get. It's a beautiful wooden fan with this beautiful delicate painting from China. It's gorgeous. I'm tapping the box here so you know it's here. So we've talked about you. I really am taking seriously. I want to do some justice, and I hope you'll like the finished product, but I do have to wait until early July to work on it instead of June, just because of a lot of stuff I have to do right now, paperwork, deadlines, and so many meetings. Like I even just had a meeting from 9 to 10 at night by phone, by computer. I have like 5 pages of notes I have to transcribe in the morning. So I just want you to know I will be doing it. And yeah. And Fanrose Sabrose and we're gonna head off to bed soon. But Fanrose is like a box or 2 ahead of me. They're more maybe their strategies, they're giving me all these tips to try to set myself up for when I get to places in the game. We both want to try to win. Desdemona here. She's a demoness. I love that one of her bangs sticks up like a heart. And Podgkins, who I met at YetiCon last year and saw again this year, you can find Podgkins on Twitch, has this same element, although she's a goblin with brown hair. So, but I just love the little detail. Yeah. Oh no. No, I really am thinking about it because I really like it. So we like the idea of the fan opening for the fan fiction and closing, like instead of a storybook, we're opening and closing a fan, which also fits because ancient Romans and ancient Japanese weren't flipping book pages. They had fans and scrolls and stuff. I originally was going to do it as a scroll. Now, I like Cordrogue's idea. And Cordrogue, you may not see her talking to people online, but she does watch my shows. One of my first followers came with me from the gaming world into YouTube. So just to say, a lot of my very close gamer friends since Ride and Die first day in WoW as a GM are here with me. They may not, a lot of them have actual YouTube subscriptions, but they watch me regularly. They just want their privacy, you know, which I understand. Okay, we're still trying to get fancy dinners here. But I'm so sorry about the water damage. I've lost all my stuff, all my ski equipment and things to a flood in basement before. The reason why I'm living in apartments and I won't be on the main floor anymore and I don't want to live in other people's basements anymore is because of the flood damages and all the mildew and the mold and if there's like septic systems that backed up, sewage systems that back up or come in with it, like everything has to be thrown away. It's really sad when that damage happens. So I totally feel for you and sorry that it happened. But I am treating with respect. I'm thinking about it. And I just want to do it nicely. I may not be professional. I don't have the computer skills of someone who went to school for it, but I am going to do the best I can for you with it. And I really like the ideas that we're coming up with for it. Oh, yeah. I know someone that tried to do cork flooring because at least cork can be aired out and stuff, but it depends on if you get like sewage water coming with it or if it's rainwater or if it's pipes that froze and burst. That's also another one. And I know some people that instead of putting down tile or carpeting, what they did was there's a treatment if you have a cement floor and not a dirt floor that can rust out like a deliberate coppery process that it looks like, but you have to like the rustic look in order to like it. But there are treatments you can put on a cement floor after you bleach it out so that it looks colorful and done. It's like rust colored streaks and stuff that happen to it in the process. I don't remember what it's called, but I know an artist friend of mine is really good at artwork and like acrylic paintings, and they did this treatment. They do like ragging on the walls and like they do feature walls. Like they're an artist who went to art school and they do all this abstract stuff, and there is a treatment for cement flooring rather than so that the next time you have a flood it can just be mopped up and bleached out and stuff. Yeah. So I don't know if you can look up treatments for pavement or cement flooring. That makes it colorful and look nice, but not be something that will be, you know, have to be pulled out if it floods again. I just know that because my artist friend, I've actually helped them do demo work and reconstruction on 2 houses down in the city so that they can re-rent each floor as like Airbnbs, I guess. There was one, actually, a different kind of a story. There was one place that we actually found someone put a time capsule in a wall. So when we resealed the wall, we added our time capsule to their time capsule. So I am in a time capsule in a wall in a multi-hundred-year-old home in downtown Toronto, near Queen Street and the CNE grounds. Okay, fancy dinners. I'm losing track here. I talk a lot sometimes, and other times I just forget to talk at all. It's very strange. But we're there. Oh yeah, I just love that Fanros Fabros actually got into this, and now I have a buddy, like a buddy system, to keep me going in the game, and they've actually figured out how to succeed in this game better than me. But we all tried out different strategies. So Fanros Fabros, she's in the lead right now. She, he, I don't know. You guys haven't told me if you're she's or he's, but I'm just assuming based on the names you picked, but I could be totally wrong. So if you want to correct me, please do. But thank you for talking to me, because this has been a more fun day than I thought it was going to be. To have company, I really appreciate it. I felt kind of really alone this week, and that's why I've been keeping my little Msoul on my shoulder here. I need my soul close by today, this week. And so it's nice to have people I can talk to and just have a good old time and shoot the breeze. Also, I'm going to ask you guys this as a real question. So because my memes coming out in the next 3 days are showing me going from 2D to 3D models and stuff, and that's only because of creative AI. It's very, very short, 4 or 5 second blips, but I'm trying to make them into memes. And it was because someone from the Twitter side, so from X, again, it's an artist who wants to sell their stuff, but made a dig at me for not looking like the model of people who are typical VTubers. And I do not want to change my model. I love my model. And I deliberately chose 2D instead of 3D, but I love it. But these little memes were just kind of my answer to that. I also unfollowed them because I don't want to see any negativity. But does it bother you? Does it bother you that I don't look like the typical? I actually feel like I liked and I was a fan of Vox Akuma. And he's had different. I think I met his voice first as a Sagittarius creature who showed how to draw online, and then in another life he was like a grumpy dragon telling sleep aid stories. Then he became picked up by, was it Hollow Olive? And he became a sensation like in a month. He had over 1 million followers or something like that. Very deep, sexy voice. Unfortunately not in my dating pool. But his avatar was so cool that I didn't want to use my original avatar I had set up to do this, so I delayed coming online as a VTuber until I had this model, because I feel like this one could stand beside his and be equally good looking. Like, so I picked someone who wasn't someone who drew VTuber models. I picked someone who was just an artist who I like their style. And then I paid a lot of money for Nikhil Sapra from VTuber Land to figure out how to rig it, because it wasn't drawn for rigging. And they had to talk to the artist about that to figure it all out. But I love it, so I don't know. Does it bother you guys? And what I'm doing I know is different because I'm not exactly from the Japanese culture of it, but I always figured like I'm the Roman end of the Silk Road that did trade with ancient India and ancient China. And I know Japan was next door and not like there in that Silk Road, but I feel like Japan and China knew each other existed. India knew they all existed, and India knew we existed. So I feel like I'm the other side of the answer to that. So I know I'm different, but is it bothersome, or should I steer myself in another direction? Because I'm not ready to have another model. I like it, but I am aware And maybe I should have another one to more fit, but I don't know. So I want your guys' thoughts, because you guys are following me, so I figure it's cool, but I do understand, and I heard the opinion, was it a week or two ago, about the, like, streamlining the other things I do in this variety show to be more around the survival stuff of my lore, which I'm looking into for future stuff. Let me see what you guys said. Oh, yeah. The model? Oh, good. The audio? Okay, the audio being low quality because I'm using the Logitech instead of my... I do have... What is it called? So my bigger speaker, when I'm doing my videos, is HyperX. But I find when I'm... Like, when it's not on right now because it's so big and it's in my way when I'm doing gamer stuff that I haven't used it. I think if I could mount it in front of me instead of sitting in front of my stomach, like my boobs are in the way. Yeah. So better voice quality. I do agree, because when I hear things back, so right now the quality is not so good, but when I'm doing my videos, it should be better, because that's why I'm using my HyperX. I know that's a better one, and that's the one I used originally when I started this. I was trying to do more like ASMR clips, and my meditation videos tend to have a version that have binaural beats in it. Sometimes I don't do it, and sometimes I do, but I will always say in my descriptions when I do, yeah, my model, this model here, because I didn't want to look like a little girl being sexualized. And I wanted a model that had a costume on that I could actually cosplay. I do have the ripped jeans. I do have, I mean, I can get silver moon boots. I can make these necklaces. The armbands that are the metal, I really have to put them on yogi ropes to make it stick, because I can't figure out how to do that and make it stick without something stretchy. Oh, I love my hair. So these are my favorite kind of colors. And a little bit originally was a bit to the violet, but then, I love it. I get a lot of movement. See, I love how it bounces. But see, in my hair too, because I gave them pictures of me with my hair and stuff, and we just put the colors to what I wanted. But I do put tiny braids in, or little twists in, and I have very wild hair that can be very wavy or curly at times, depending on the heat. Like if I go to Mexico, I have a giant hair. And then as soon as I'm over the United States in an airplane, it slinks to flat on my face like it's sad. And it loses its body. But I cannot brush it when I'm down south. It's so curly. It's just better to wet it and squish it and let it dry. And up here, if I brush it, then it becomes straw. And if I try to flatten it, it still has a wave. And if I try to curl it, then it goes frizzy. It's really weird. My hair has a life of its own, which explains my rebelliousness, because I think our hair reflects our nature. Anyone with a cowlick in their hair, and a family with traditionally straight hair, I'd say that's the rebel. That's the one that's thinking differently. I don't know, it's just a feeling I have about hair. The audio is more important than the model. Okay. Note taken. Okay, so when I'm gaming, I'll try to remember to put my HyperX on then, and I won't get so lazy about that. This will be the last time. Today's the last day. These girls are making me tired. So thank you for that feedback. And yeah, I'm still playing with, I use Audacity sometimes when I have my voice and background noises, trying to get the right levels, and where I would skimp on, oh, it's good enough versus that's annoying me, I'm starting to spend more time on trying to balance the levels and erasing it and putting it back in as many as 3 or 4 times in the past week to try to get it to be not jarring. Well, I think my next idea is that I have to get a crane, because see, so what you don't see is my camera is sitting on top of a piece of a box. I took about, let's see, 6 inches edging of a box, and then I folded it on itself and used duct tape around it to create something that is like sticks up like a hollow rectangle in front of my face, so the camera can be closer to my face level so that I can be rigged properly. And it's still kind of lopsided, but it's working the best we can. And then part of it just goes off like a T, and I duct taped it to the mat that my keyboard's on. Okay, you gotta sleep. We do have stuff to do in the morning, and it is 1 o'clock for you. Oh, wow. So, and for me, things have not popped yet. So, dedication, I really need it to pop, and it's going to be... Wait a second. Oh, it's not even moving. Okay, that's why we haven't popped. I'm so sorry. So, dedication will be popped when I wake up in the morning. Good night, Fenros Fabros. And I think for me... I'm going to go to, because I don't have enough money to finish the things that need to be done right now. Let's do one last greeting card, and then we're going to go. I'm glad at least. Thank you for the feedback, everybody, and I'm going to work on it. So now I have to work on figuring out how to makeshift a crane. Me and duct tape, we do wonders. So yeah. That's the next thing I'm going to work on, a crane for my HyperX so that I can talk to you guys. Maybe I'll look at a stand. Yeah. What? Keep the slot on spontaneity? Oh. What's going on here? I think I need to... take something away to do something else, really. 8. I'm going to do 6 so that I can get spontaneity back up. Okay, there. We've got 1 left over, but we got spontaneity and dedication going so that the gold can pop. And, oh, and so that we can get the other bell, Mary Bell, to pop. So for me, it'll be in the morning. So I'm at least 2 boxes behind you, maybe 3 by now. You won't even tell me because you're so polite. Take care, everybody. Good night, Fenros Fabros. In the morning, I may not be online until Friday night, but by then we'll have amassed a lot of money to throw at our leveling. And Mary Bell might have popped, and so will our goals, which will give me the 10 time blocks. And then after that, I will be able to do the ×2 with the 30 envelopes. I will not spend my envelopes, I promise. Here we go. We're going to end the night with this beautiful girl right here. Masking tape. I have to buy some. I am very good with like Gorilla Glue and duct tape. Actually, I have that see-through fat like packing tape for moving. I do have that stuff. But yeah, masking tape so it doesn't make ugly sticky surfaces on my microphone. Maybe I'll have to wrap it in something first. I don't know. But I will work on that next. If not this week, for next week. And July is when I'm going to do hardcore, focus on this. I am actually trying to look for voice work now. But so far, the companies I've found, they want you to pay to access jobs, and I think that's not right. But I've decided, since talking to and listening to people doing the panels, like Tiffany Witcher, who is one of Podkins and Iggy Falafalina's friends from the Twitch, and I'm following them on YouTube now, actually. I think they're in a few different places. They are a real professional singer and voice actor. I want to try to find jobs like that and see if I can do that to make real money to support this habit. Yeah. You can't understand? Okay. When I lived in the north, there was only one TV station I could get, and it was always in black and white fuzz on top, which was so annoying. So I got used to listening to the TV like a radio while I'd make my lunches, and then I'd go back to school. And it was the Red Green Show. And then the Red Green Show came out with that movie about a giant ball of duct tape. And I know that's really long ago, but I think he's still out there in reruns. But I really can do so much with duct tape. Duct tape. I watched one. You know how I'm doing these cooking shows based on foods and drinks featured in various episodes of Project Runway, because I was binge watching it for something to watch that I haven't seen before, even though they're old episodes. To me, it's all new because I lived in places where there was no TV for the most part. You didn't have a TV or internet or a phone unless it was local on walkies, or you walked to your neighbor's house who had one. Like, they didn't just give you subscriptions if you wanted to pay. People had to die for you to get the next one, because in small towns where there are no cell towers and stuff, and these companies aren't going to pay to build them for you out in the middle of nowhere because there's not enough financial support, because there's very few jobs in these isolated places, honestly. So you couldn't just get them. And I don't even remember the point anymore. But anyways, duct tape. I've used it around like paper boxes and tubes to make chairs and mini sofas. And this one lady on it would like cut out layers of it, like cuttings to make pictures like lace, and then tape it across her stuff, or use it as a stencil, and then you lift it off, and leaving behind what you painted in between it are the colors on the fabrics. So there's lots of ways to use duct tape. Also, if I could pay to get giant Lego and make a wall divider for my home, like see-through Lego of various tinted colors, I would love that. I would do it. I would make a Lego sofa and then put real cushions in there. Why not? That's hilarious and fun. I remember seeing a Tetris lamp somewhere. Oh, but what I do have, I have a Minecraft torch. It doesn't really light up the room like you would want, but it is enough light that the next time I am stuck in a week-long blackout, I can see my way around and you can see me coming. It's nice and golden and yellow, but I can actually read my keyboard with it. I'm doing it right now. Minecraft torch. And I'm not sorry I bought it. I don't know. Flashlights are probably cheaper, but you can share my sense of humor when I'm walking around with that in the dark. So Fiverr. So that's where I found the artist who did my model. And I am remembering to put the credit back to your mama is the drawer and the papa is the one who rigged it. Nikhil Sapra from VTuberland rigged this. Awesome. And I even just said hello to him recently just to see that he's still out there. But my artist was really nervous about doing this because they weren't trained to do this. But I just really love their art. And unfortunately, they didn't want to continue being my artist, even though they had almost made me my opening screen and it was almost done, and then they bailed and got really upset. They felt too much pressure. But I mean, I remember giving them tips to continue to make this model so I could get it, to give them more money. And I do feel it's unfair that if you've agreed upon something, you said you'd sell something for a certain amount, and then you want more. I felt like a hostage, and then I was willing to pay more, but then they came back with wanting more, and that wasn't fair, and that wasn't my price range, and we had a deal. And now I didn't become big in the first year, and I didn't monetize in the first year, so I guess it didn't help them either. Like, it's not like I became very, very famous or something, and so, you know. But I did promise them I would commission them whenever I had enough money to do another scene or a backdrop for me, because I love their art. But they were very emotional and not wanting to do more. And they showed me what they were doing, then didn't give it to me. They didn't finish it. And I didn't get my money back for the start of that one. So I was upset about that. Now, with my rigger, it was very expensive. I've never spent that much money on myself before, but I decided that was my birthday present to me, and I would only do it once. And that's why I do copy and paste, and I'm kind of like paper dolling other looks, other clothing on myself. And I figured out to do that because I watched Vox Akuma, who's backed by Hollow Olive, was doing that because I couldn't figure out why was he popping in and out of his suit that he was wearing. But I think he is the artist of his stuff, or whoever's the artist of his stuff was also doing those other looks. So although it was layered like that, and I'm popping out behind mine too, at least he had the consistent look, whereas I'm actually taking things maybe that I shouldn't and removing backgrounds and trying to etch out things or laying other thing on top, like the dog beside me lifted up, like to hide the fact that my other leg's not fitting inside of it. Sometimes I don't choose the best looks, but I really want them, but I can't draw it. And I would have paid my artist to do more and to give me my opening screen and my ending screen the same way that Vox Akuma does it for him. But they bailed. So in Fiverr, there were a lot of people I reached out to, but a lot of people, they didn't come through. So it was very hard I was lucky to even get my model. And then I was willing to pay the money that I paid, which I would never do again, knowing what I know now. But the rigger and his team really did a great job. I myself, I do have emotes. I just don't know how to make them work. Sometimes I've made them work the odd time, sometimes not. And it's kind of like if you're handing me like a PlayStation gamer control thing, I just don't want to do it. I hate those kind of games. It's not what I grew up doing. So it's like I'm doing mouse click games, and maybe that's not so good, but I just don't get the hang of it, so I'm not successful, and so I don't enjoy having to do it that way. But once in a while, I do make my emotes work, like my eyes can glow. There's that sad or angry look, but man, I feel like I look in my neutral pose, it already looks like I'm sad. And I'm gonna grin. I don't know, the grin right now looks a little bit thin and creepy. My lips are a little more plumpy. But that's okay. But when I smile, I love it. It's great. And right now my rigging is working really well. So I've got all this range of motion, and I can make my legs move when I look in different directions. It's not exactly what I had planned. The one thing I couldn't get done at the time but wanted to do later is I was asking recently how much would it cost me just to get my hand to wave or do a salute, because when I play World of Warcraft, I salute people or I wave at them. So I'd like to be able to do that with at least one arm. And with my little soul here, my little Msoul, my little precious soul, I wanted, when I'm mad, to like make him go splat against the computer and drip down, like I've thrown a snowball at you or something, except it's like jelly because he's so see-through. I wanted to do that, but that we didn't get to do. But I consider this asset like my pet, or my little mortal soul. He's here with me right now. Yeah. So there's that. I rambled on that. I don't know how helpful that was to hear. Yeah. I didn't want to be a bother. I offered tips. I paid extra to get this as tips when he had shown me the model he had started and then was showing signs that didn't want to finish it. And I gave him tips as a way to give more money without asking him to, like, the tips weren't to add more features. It was just so that he has more money because he wanted more money. But the third time it came back and he's mad at me because his friends are saying he should have charged a lot more. But I think that was unfair. And at that point, I felt like I was being extorted. But I'm just lucky I got the model that I got. And then I was lucky that Nikhil Sapra was able to, with his team, figure it out with the artist and actually rig me, because I think they rigged me very well. But from the VietiCon, I've heard that people nowadays pay a lot less money than I did, and they're also given theme songs and background pictures and all this stuff. But I don't know where they're getting that from, but they're like a team of 10 friends. I was surrounded in a room full of VTubers and future VTubers who are DJs, and they all grew up going to school for this kind of thing, and I just can't do what they do. It's amazing and it's awesome, and I wish I could. I'm trying to teach myself or get myself back into drawing, but I really can't focus on it during the school year. I can do it in the summer times. I'm going to develop my chibis. And I do regret, and even at the time I regretted not being able to better draw or depict my backstory. But I did the best I could for the time. It's kind of cruddy, but it is what it is, and you know what? That's what I could do. So I'm growing as I work it out and get to know you guys. I'm still trying to teach myself things to make it better too. I mean, if you can, I'd like to pick up somebody who can help me with this stuff. Or I've tried to learn a little bit on my own, but really it takes time. And I've learned in a headspace, in a physical space, that you feel the comfort, and then the creativity can flow. Like when I first started this, I could go on a Saturday. There was this coffee shop that's become too expensive, but I used to sit there, and it was very nice, and it was near the water. And the people who first worked there when I first started going there were very nice. Things have changed. And I could pop out 11 to 13 scripts. Like, not with a computer, by hand. Because I'm a touchy-feely person. So by doing it by hand, and then I would just come and produce it. But I was sitting for a long time to do that. And now I kind of want to get up and move around more. You know what, Copper Kaiju, if you had stuff, I don't know. Like, I feel like I have a lot of assets because if I go back through my stuff, I put a lot of things to an external hard drive now, so I lose things. But I also do that on purpose to myself so that I find new things for you guys to look at. Like, I'll change my pendants around and stuff, the different animals I have as my sidekicks and things, so you see something new sometimes for variety. But some of my original looks I like better. I could pull them back out and put them back in, but I rotate it. But I feel like I collected a lot of nice things. Mostly, though, by cut and paste, copying things off the internet and then removing backgrounds or erasing pieces of it, which I don't know if I monetize, if that's kosher. I know, like, maybe there's a lot of real VTuber from the Japanese background understanding the culture more than I do. Maybe don't like what I do, and I do need to rely on some of that creative AI to do some of what I'm doing right now, but I didn't go to school for computers. And I had brothers. I couldn't get my hands on the remote controls in the younger years. I had to really live on my own when I was going to school in order to get my hands on a computer myself. In World of Warcraft, I fell in love with it and was in awe of the magical creation and miracle of the world of lights and beams and all that. But that's the birth of Venus. That's the birth of Venus Callida. I was a gamer. And then I cosplayed her. And now I'm here. Yay! You've been looking at the same screens for a bit, so I hope that hasn't been too boring. But yeah, the Fiverr thing, if I don't regret bugging that artist, Eridont. Used to be Eridante, but Eridont, because the way they would draw the universe in the eyes, and that's the thing I lost in the rigging, but it was just so beautiful that I wanted that. And I just like their art. And I was hoping that I would become, a lot bigger, a lot faster, and then they wouldn't have regretted helping me have my model. So they, would be willing to do. But once they, started saying, my friends say, blah, 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 I don't want to do this, and they were very emotional, which I didn't understand because I didn't give them deadlines. And I gave tips to try, without asking for more assets or anything to be added. It was just, please finish it and give it to me. Here's some more money. But, after doing that twice, I'm not doing that a third time. That wasn't fair. But I really wanted them to finish the background that they... See, because they were almost done. And then they decided not to give it to me. They showed it to me and then wouldn't give it to me. And that, to me, didn't motivate me to pay more money. I put the money towards the rigging. And I did hope to meet the people from VTuberland because the guy who worked on my stuff, very nice guy, they don't make new models anymore, so I hope their company doesn't disappear because I really do, if I ever wanted to do more rigging but they do, he said that they do still take care of the models they did create, so hoping that I've asked for a quote on helping me at least wave or salute everybody, but I'm waiting to see about a quote for that. But yeah, Fiverr, I went to it because at the time, that seemed to be the thing people were talking about. But I had I think I went through 5 people before I finally found someone that had the time and a reasonable price to make my avatar. And then when it came to the rigging, I was just willing to pay that bigger amount to have this model working so that I could get online. Because my VTube account is older than me VTubing in this avatar. And if you look at my very early work, you'll see photographs that I really took with my own eyes traveling the world as a kid. Because I liked ancient ruins, I liked nature places, but then I ran it through Corel Draw or Corel Paint and turned it into etchings with monochromatic looks, and that was my thing, and I was just narrating stories through that to start. And then because my first subscribers wanted to see motion, I got into making timers, so I would call them soft timers because they don't ring at you and jolt you out of your skin when they finally finish. They're soft timers. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I wish I had done this at a younger age because I would have brought a lot more people with me from the gaming world to follow me. And I really started this after my guild died. Because, we used to talk through Ventrilo and Discord and all those, and I'm not in Discord. I should be. I think I have an account in there, but I don't even remember the passwords. I can't get in. And I do, like, everybody wanted me in there. Everyone was telling me to do the right things. I just wasn't listening, and I wish I had listened, but at the time, my priorities were different. And, yeah. Yes, and so I know I'm different, and I know everybody told me the right things to do and to learn the right lingo and everything, and I just like, you know what? I'm not Asian. I am Latin. Let's just go with where Wonder Woman came from. Ancient Greece, ancient Rome, ancient Egypt. That's my hub. And so my model represents that ancient world lore. But again, the Silk Road between China, India, and when Caesar Augustus was living and breathing, all those roads led to each other. And I actually have on my bucket list to go into the part of the world in the middle of the continent, in Eurasia, where people look so mixed because ancient Rome, ancient India, and ancient China were trading on that original Silk Road. If you look it up, you'll probably see modern day India versus China and Russia with their trains, their super trains. But it was originally from ancient Caesar Augustus Rome. So I say I'm the other side of that Silk Road. And that's why I don't have all the lingo. And plus, I don't want to look like a little baby that's being sexualized and being dirty online for attention. I decided deliberately not to go this Mexi route because of who some of my original subscribers were. People who know me and don't want to see me that way. I wanted to do a Dark V series, and I was told not to do it. So that is something in the future if I were to monetize, if I were to make another alt, because I really wanted to talk about real issues of the ways people have survived things and ways to heal. But that's why I still do those meditation videos and the sleep aid videos, because that's all part of it, right? Yeah. See, we've always had an interest in Asia. Yay. Well, that's why I sometimes get into my togas, and that's why a video that's going to hit at 3 in the morning with a song I wrote the original lyrics for was only like 2 verses, but the AI took it in a slightly different direction, but I liked the haunting voice and the haunting sound. And, again, I can't draw what I'd like to draw, so I clip arted the visuals, and I just hope you guys enjoy it when you see it. Because it is a perspective maybe people don't think of, but I wanted to think of it. Yeah. And also, I don't think we can all be the same. And I do know that I might not be the place where people come to see hack it up, shoot 'em down, video games. Not always, not usually, but sometimes. I'm more where people come to chill and like gear down for the day as they're getting ready to go out or studying or getting ready to fall asleep. And that's okay. So I put people to sleep. If that's my tone, okay, I'll do it. But I'm still having fun. You guys make it fun for me. So let me see, where are we going to go with this? Can we get her any more greeting cards before I go tonight? Yeah. Hey, it always surprises me when I think I've run out of stories to tell you that new things come up as we chat. And if you guys end up on Fiverr or somewhere else, and Copper Kaiju, if you're still out there listening, if you do think that you would like to get into that route with me, well, let's talk when you're ready. And I'm going to work on drawing my Chibi stories and maybe finally colorize them. Because one thing I heard at the YetiCon panel with Podgkins and with Tiffany Witcher is that even if all you can do is draw stickmen, your fans will love you for it. So that's why I'm showing you guys the doodles that I make, just so that you know I used to be a lot better. And my hand to paper, I always felt was better than my hand on that. I bought in my first year that digital drawing whatever thing, and I just feel like I'm drawing blind, but I have to practice. And I haven't done that. I put it away somewhere and I have to find it and practice. But if I can get my chibis going, then I can make my own memes where nobody can say I'm copywriting anything. But I'd be looking for, I bought like art pens, like paint pens, as opposed to digitizing it. I have to learn that later. I just don't have time for that right now. I guess I should make time for it, but I don't have time for that right now. I do have so many stories. It depends on what direction we go. I get, and there's the Ask the 8-Ball episodes. Maybe I should start doing podcast. Isn't this a podcast? Is this the same as doing a podcast? We'd have to actually choose issues to talk about. And I am worried about doing, because Cardboard was saying you should just do that because that's what people do now. And I'm like, I'm worried I'll get myself in trouble. And like, admittedly, I might say things just to stir the pot, but I don't want to like tick off my followers and then have them leave me. Well, Copper Kaiju, if you ever want to do art or little art series and have it featured somewhere or narrated by me, I'll do it here for you and give you all the credits. You just tell me how to give you the attribution. Also, I'm thinking about Dr. Coffee, who gave me all the rights to use any of his songs any way I want. And I went to him recently, like, to verbally make sure. Are you sure? And he's like, yeah, go for it. And I just keep the email where I have the permission so that it's totally original stuff. It's different than, like, I like trap and I like R&B and I like that kind of stuff. I like Latin music too for dancing. And I like heavy metal guitar riffs for when I'm really pissed going down a highway in my car. Makes me feel better. But his stuff is different. He's more rock and roll, but he's done a lot of cover bands. And he can sing and he can play all these different musical instruments with these people and for these people. So I'm thinking in the summer when I have the time, think about each of his music pieces and do something for each of them rather than pulling out pieces for the backgrounds of things. But I have done one where it's in a dive bar. That was all his music. So yeah. So if you want to do stuff as you dabble and get better to help your presence be known and to like build your portfolio of I've been featured here, I'll do that for you. Because I love that to have sources. And Dr. Frederick, I know I haven't done your first story for you, but once I do, I mean, maybe we need some sequels. Who knows? Who knows? Because I suspect you're a real writer in the real world. And if not, did AI do it or did you do it? Because my song that's coming out, AI filtered my original song, but I could also like state what my real song is later. And another meme somewhere down the line. Yeah. We're trying to get greeting cards here for this girl. And I know I need to sleep now because tomorrow's going to be a big day for me. And I have physiotherapy on Saturday and I'm going to be out of town on Sunday. Visiting family who lives in a different city. I'll be doing all of that. So it's going to be a big weekend. It's going to be a big week ahead. Lots of important things happening in the next 2 weeks. Which is why it's going to be July when I finally do the fan fiction. Woo! And Copper Kaiju, if you want it, by any chance, honor me with fan art of me as a chibi or anything, I would do that too. I've made songs. Oh yes, my first song, my first year here was Dear Enemy of Mine. And I was thinking of my soldier friends at the time. And that one actually was a hit. And then I've got one coming out, which is Goddess of Fame by Another Name. I think that's what I called it. It should have been shorter, but I just felt like I needed to use that. Because it's behind my thoughts behind Venus, the goddess, and where she really comes from, and what would her point of view of that be. Separate from the aspect of Venus Callida, which is me, there is Venus, the goddess of love, right? And so, and again, I'm basing myself in ancient Roman lore, but in this life of mine online, but there is another we know of, and so this is about that, and it's going to come out tomorrow. Well, today at 3:15 a.m. So, but it's a haunting sound for a reason, and I just liked it. All right, everyone, we're all tired. For me, it's 12:30. For some of you, it's 11:38. For some of you, it is 1:38. We all live in a row. And as the sun and moon chase each other, time for us all to sleep. So I'm going to head back up here. And I finally stop talking and say goodnight. Thank you all for keeping me company and having fun with me. And I'll see you all. If not first thing in the morning, then it will be not until late at night tomorrow night. It won't be right away. I will be busy doing real lifey stuff in my corporeal form. And I'll be back later. Good night, everyone. Bye, Cop Kaiju. Bye, Funrose Fan Rose, who's sleeping now. Good night, good Dr. Frederick, and everyone else who's listening out there who will be listening soon when they have the time. Thank you so much. This is Venus Callida signing off. And